Best Chinese Dramas on Netflix. The King's Avatar. In the multiplayer online game Glory, Yi Xiu is well known as the textbook-level expert and top-tier player Yi Qiu. Due to a series of circumstances, he was forcefully expelled from his professional team. After leaving the pro gaming scene, he resides at an internet cafe employed as one of the managers. When Glory launches their 10th server, he throws himself into the game once more equipped with 10 years of gaming experience, memories of the past, and an incomplete, self-made weapon. His journey back to the top begins. The King's Avatar aired on July 24th, 2019 with 40 episodes. Love 020. Xiao Nai is a gaming expert who, courtesy of his basketball skills, academic excellence, swimming talent, and game company presidency, also happens to be the most popular student on campus. When he first comes across the gorgeous computer science major by Wei Wei, the infinitely talented wonderkind immediately falls in love. But it's not Wei Wei's looks that he notices, it's the ridiculous mastery with which she is commanding her guild and owning everyone in an online multiplayer game that makes her impossible to forget. Now, Xiao Nai must use his skills both in real life and online to capture the adorable but dorky Wei Wei's heart. But does their love have the XP to succeed, or will this relationship never level up? Love 020 aired on August 22nd, 2016 with 30 episodes. Put your head on my shoulder. On the cusp of graduation, an accounting major searching for her career winds up living with a genius physics student who shakes up her daily routine. Situ Missouri is a graduating student. As someone who got used to having her whole life planned out for her, she is at a loss about her future and can't find the courage to make a decision for herself. Because the school districts have merged physics major Gerweya barges into her life. They clash repeatedly without noticing that they are slowly walking into each other's hearts. To their surprise, they accidentally end up having to live together. Put Your Head on My Shoulder aired on April 10th, 2019 with 24 episodes. Meteor Garden. An ordinary girl is admitted to the most prestigious school in the country, where she encounters F4, an exclusive group comprised of the 4 wealthiest and most handsome boys in the school: Dao Mingxi, Hoa Zili, Shiman, and Mei Zua. Shan Kai is an 18-year-old girl from a family that's barely able to make ends meet. Due to a turn of events, she gets accepted into a school that only accepts upper-class elites. She immediately clashes with her classmates, especially Dao Mingxi, who is spoiled, arrogant, and a bully. She remains defiant even after becoming a target of a series of pranks intended to torment her, and just when she's about to give up, Hua Zile always seems to show up to lend her a helping hand. Eventually, the 4 boys begin to acknowledge Shan Kai's unyielding personality, which is like her namesake, which is that of a weed that can never be brought down. She also begins to see the good in the boys, which paves the way for friendship and an eventual romance. Meteor Garden aired on July 9th, 2018 with 50 episodes. Hidden Love. Sang Zi falls in love with Duan Jiashu, the boy who often comes to her house to play games in her older brother's room. He is 5 years older than her. Sang Ji had a crush on Duan Jiashu when she was young, but they lost contact with each other for some reason. After she graduates, she joins the university in the city he is in, and during their day-to-day intimate and close interaction, they slowly fall in love. Hidden Love aired on June 20th, 2023 with 25 episodes. When I Fly Towards You. In the early autumn of 2012, Yukai High School welcomes a cheerful transfer student named Su Zai Zai Zai. On the first day of school, Su Zai encounters the aloof and cool Zhang Lurang and falls in love with him at first sight. Behind Zhang Lurang's seemingly outstanding academic performance and privileged family background, he is a contradictory person who appears to be quite confident on the outside yet constantly doubts himself on the inside. Due to the presence of his genius younger brother, Zhang Lulai, Zhang Lurang is constantly compared to him by his mother. For over a decade, Zhang Lurang's life has been like living inside a thick shell. He is introverted and speaks little. He looks composed and polite but keeps everyone at a distance. However, Zhang Lurang's life changes when he meets the bubbly and forward Su Zai Zai and joins hands with old and new friends Gu Ran, Guan Fang, and Su Zai Zai's best friend Zhang Jiang Jia. They help him understand the meaning of self, and he slowly begins to understand how to plan his life. Zhang Lurang and Su Zai Zai work towards their goals while supporting one another, as romance begins to blossom throughout their friend group. When I Fly Towards You aired on June 13th, 2023, with 24 episodes. Falling Into Your Smile. In the ultra-competitive world of esports, the all-male ZGDX Opal team is second to none. Armies of adoring female fans follow the team wherever it goes. But when one of the team's star players suffers a hand injury, the tall, handsome, and notoriously hard-to-please ZGDX captain Lu Sai-Cheng will not be rushed into choosing a replacement. The petite, lollipop-loving Tong Yao, meanwhile, is a budding amateur gamer obsessed with OPL. Her skills are exceptional, but she is of the firm belief that in the male-dominated world of pro gaming, love is a big no, even though her own ex-boyfriend was a gamer. When the ZGDX team manager learns of her skills, he contacts her, thinking that recruiting her as the scene's first female player will help score a major PR cut. Lu Sai-Cheng is dismissive of her initially, but eventually agrees to accept her as a substitute, a move that polarizes the team's fan-base. But as they start to get to know one another better, could a closer bond begin to form between them? Falling Into Your Smile aired on June 23, 2021, with 31 episodes. The Princess Wei Young. The Northern Wei dynasty was obliterated one night, leaving behind the kind-hearted Princess Feng Xin-yi as an orphan. Although she escapes death, she accidentally enters her enemy's territory, and she assumes the identity of Li Wei Young, the daughter of the Prime Minister. She suffers many hardships, but eventually utilizes her wisdom and sense of justice to become a powerful woman, as well as gaining a beautiful romance. The Princess Wei Young aired on November 11, 2016, with 54 episodes. Who Rules the World? Hai Fengxi is handsome and elegant, while Bai Fengxi is majestic and unrestrained. Opposites attract as both are unrivaled in skill and intellect. Caught in the warfare and chaos of the martial arts and political worlds, the flowers of love begin to bloom amidst the blood that has been sacrificed within the last 10 years. Trying to keep their identities hidden, they constantly have to be 3 steps ahead when dealing with much political unrest, betrayal, infighting, and the ultimate battle for the imperial throne. They join hands, seeking justice while trying to calm the ever-growing uncertainty brought on by unseen malice. But will their love bring peace to a chaotic time, and who will ultimately rule the world? Who Rules the World aired on April 18th, 2022, with 40 episodes. Handsome Siblings. The story of twin brothers who separated at birth but grew up to be supreme martial artists. Raised to take revenge on each other, they soon find themselves becoming good friends. Together they vow to take the martial arts world by storm and search for their true identities. Jiang Xiaoyu, better known as Zi Xiaoyu'er, was raised by the 10 great villains in the Villains Valley. He was trained and brought up to think that he will be the top villain in the martial arts world. Over the years, he has learned many tricks and becomes a mischievous prankster, though with a good heart. Once he was ready to leave the Villains Valley, he meets Hua Wuke, who he doesn't know is actually his twin brother. Hua Wuke grew up in Yuhua Palace under the care of Princess Yao Yu. Princess Yao Yu had a one-sided love for his father, Jiang Feng, and wanted to take revenge on him. Thus, she separated the twins at birth and raised them with the hopes they would be enemies and fight each other to death. Separately, Zhang Bihe, who was once the servant to Jiang Feng, teams up with his son Zhang Yulang in a conspiracy that might ruin the entire martial arts world. Hua Wuke and Xiao Yue team up together to try and take him down. Handsome Siblings aired on January 16th, 2020, with 44 episodes. Eternal Love. The nine-tailed fox Bai Qian, the youngest daughter of the Fox King, is brought to Kunlun Mountain to become a disciple of the god of war, Mo Yuan. While studying there, a war breaks out that leads to Mo Yuan sacrificing his life to seal a demon lord. 70,000 years later, Bai Qian attempts to also sacrifice herself to reseal the demon lord, but is instead thrown to the mortal realm where she loses all her memories and divine power. Living alone on a remote mountain, Bai Qian saves Crown Prince Yi Hua of the Nine Heavens, who is actually her fiancé in heaven and greatly resembles the late Mo Yuan. The two start falling in love, not knowing the true identity of the other person, and their love tribulation that involves them meeting in 3 different lives and 3 worlds. Eternal Love aired on January 30th, 2017 with 58 episodes. Word of Honor. In order to leave the assassin organization, the Window of Heaven, the leader Zhou Zai Shu performs an obligatory departure technique, leaving him with 3 years left to live. He disguises his face and tries to live the remainder of his days as a drunkard wandering the martial arts world. 3 months later, he meets the mysterious Wen Ke-ik-sing, who immediately notices Zhu Zishu's facade. The two then grow closer when they get entangled in a conspiracy regarding the glazed armor, a protected legendary key to a powerful armory. Word of Honor aired on February 22nd, 2021, with 36 episodes. The Longest Promise. From the Khongsang continent comes the tumultuous love affair between Princess Juyan of the Qiyi tribe and the royal prince Shi Ying. The framing of the queen results in the prince's banishment to Juyi Mountain to cultivate. While focused on his tasks, he develops romantic feelings for his disciple Zhu Yan, but their student-teacher relationship prevents either from expressing their true feelings. Fate works against them when they choose opposing sides in a political struggle of life and death proportions. Eventually putting aside their issues, they pledge to protect their beloved Khongsang continent. The Longest Promise aired on July 2nd, 2023, with 40 episodes. Love between fairy and devil. According to legend, in order to obtain terrible power, Dongfang King Kang of the Moon Tribe became an emotionless monster. He killed his father, seized the position of Moon Supreme, and led an army of 100,000 Moon Tribe soldiers on a path of devastation. Shuyantian, the immortal fairy realm, Kangyan Sea, the Moon Tribe, and Yunmeng Lake, the mortal world, were in grave danger. To save the world and stop Dongfang King Kang and his army, the first god of war of Shuyantian destroyed her primordial spirit. Dongfang King Kang's army and primordial spirit were sealed and his body was locked away in Hochin Tao under the immortal bonds of the Hochin Matrix. However, if his primordial spirit was restored and Dongfang King Kang were to break free from his tower, the world would be in danger once more. Legend says that only the goddess of Ixishan can prevent this catastrophe, but she vanished without a trace. 30,000 years after the first god of war's sacrifice, there was a disturbance in the Hochin Matrix. While attempting to help the new god of war reinforce the Matrix, Orchid, a weak and low-ranking flower fairy, accidentally finds herself inside Hochin Tower and face-to-face with the Moon Supreme himself. Their encounter sets off a chain of events that threatens to change the fate of the world once again. Love Between Fairy and Devil aired on August 7th, 2022 with 36 episodes. The Untamed. Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangjie, two talented disciples of respected clans, meet during cultivation training and accidentally discover a secret carefully hidden for many years. Taking on the legacy of their ancestors, they decide to rid the world of the ominous threat. But in a dramatic turn of events, Wei Wuxian dies. 16 years later, Wei Wuxian is brought back to life through a self-sacrificing ritual. He conceals himself behind a mask and assumes the identity of his summoner. Soon, Wei Wuxian reunites with Lan Wangjie and they start working together to solve the mysteries of the present and unravel the truth behind the events in the past. The Untamed aired on June 27th, 2019, with 50 episodes.